the pressure on my back, I went and sat in it. I miss the sweet life.
They caught a vibe I wasn't feeling. Put the pressure on my back, I went and sat in it. Put it into words, we all the same like cinnamon. Taste skin salty, I miss the sweet like cinnamon. Put it on my back, put it on my back. Seen him on the stretcher, try to run off with a sack. Street life getting old, knew I wasn't going back. Bitches changing every season.
Hey guys, welcome back to the New Tribe Podcast. As you guys already know, my name is Bashar. My lovely co-host today is Hebron.
What's up, what's up?
Back by popular demand from you. And our guest today is Abbas Yusuf, the founder of Motivation for the Streets. Somebody who I think is a brother to me, somebody who I have known for a long time. So I want to say welcome to the podcast, man. How you doing today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
I'm doing lovely, man. It's been a great day. Got my grades back from school, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And it turns out, I'm completely done with my master's degree in cybersecurity.
Yes, sir.
It turns
sir.
out like that was a surprise.
It was a surprise because I was waiting for the grades to God, you got this.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Yeah. I appreciate
Yeah, that's
it,
dope.
brother.
Congrats.
I'm definitely gonna celebrate it in the spring. You know what I mean? But right now, we would definitely want to celebrate what you're doing.
Yeah.
Which is the nonprofit Motivation for the Streets.
Yeah.
You're inspiring the youth. At the same time, you're telling them real stories about the past and, things that they can avoid in the future as well, because we didn't have that growing up.
Exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
So speak on that a little bit and just tell me what the point of a nonprofit is and what you see as the end goal for yourself in this nonprofit.
So currently, I own a business, but before that, I got my degree in finance, right?
Yeah.
And so after I got my degree in finance, I'm gonna be honest, I learned more in the streets than I did in school. That's real.
Yeah.
So, a lot of the times, families, they push, as soon as you turn 17, 18, senior year, they start, you going to college, right?
Yeah.
You going to college, right?
Yeah.
If you don't go to college, then, you're looked at as a failure, and it's
Right.
come on,
Yeah.
some of these young guys, if they go to college,
Yeah.
and they graduate, that's not, that's not gonna make them happy.
Yeah.
They're not gonna be, going, because they want to. They're gonna go because they feel like they have to.
Yeah, and they're just wasting time.
Exactly, and they're wasting time,
Yeah.
and then once they graduate, they end up doing something that has nothing to do with their degree. It's like, you just, spent, and I don't want to say, that's for everybody,
Certain
because there
amount
are
of time,
some people that go to college, and it makes sense. They go to school for, something in the health field, and they actually want to go work at a hospital or something related to that. Makes
Yeah.
sense, They
Yeah.
want to do engineering. Makes sense, They want to do, doctor, lawyer, something like that. Like those, fields, I understand, if you want to do it,
Yeah.
But if you're going to college because you feel like you have to and you're just picking, a bullshit major, right?
Yeah. Just
Just to, satisfy Hoy and Albert and be like, yo, I'm going to college. You see me going to class. You see me,
Yeah.
Right.
they're off your back. Like, come on, you're only playing yourself,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, when you move out, they're not the ones that are dealing with the student loans and dealing with, the time that you spent, those 4 or 5 years, whatever that you spent in college. You could have spent that on starting a business and stuff like that. So it's just trying to let them know, yo, you have other options. That's the biggest thing. A lot of the times they feel like, that's their only option. It's like, yo, there's way more options.
There sure is, bro. Alternative routes are being created every single day. Sometimes people are making the equivalence of money that they would have had on them as far as debt. They're making a lot more than that. So instead of going to school and getting certain amount of debt on them, they're able to not only make a lot of money in a short amount of time, but also, have a better outlook on their lives. So it all depends on, what you want to do, right? And, sometimes that question can take some time to develop, right? So you have to be patient. You have to understand yourself. Your parents are going to be essential to everything that you do because they're the foundation of who you are. But at the end of the day, this is your life. You're the one who has to be happy at the end of the day. And I was just talking about how I got my master's degree, right? I wish I'd known more alternative routes, not so that, I would have taken those routes, but so that, time could have been shorter. So for instance, for me, right, I went to school. I could have done everything that I have done right now in, let's say, 5 years rather than what I have done it in, which is
Oh, for
6,
sure.
7 years. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it's definitely time reduction can be made. Alternative routes can be taken a look at, as far as when you come out of high school, you could take a look at, alternative routes. You could take a look at, how to finish college as fast as possible. So there's a lot of different things that you can do essentially to kind of succeed in that
Yeah.
atmosphere, right?
Yeah, for sure. Also, let me ask you this, like from the outside looking in, for someone that maybe doesn't know what your business or what the nonprofit is about,
Yeah.
what's kind of like the steps that you take someone through as a new person that you might be coaching or whatever it is? What does that look like for someone that's getting guidance from you?
Yeah, so like, I start off, they usually hit me up on Instagram or something like that. And, I'll just ask them, like, what interests you in the business world, and they'll tell me, and I try to give them some game, based on what they tell me. And I let them know, hey, come through to our meetings, and usually we meet on Thursdays, every other Thursday, and so when we meet every other Thursday, each week we have, somebody that does, something different, like our first meeting, it was just me talking to them, explaining to them like what to expect from me,
Yeah.
and what I expected from them, and we just talked, about life, about business, and we talked about girls too a little bit, I gave them a little game,
Yeah.
shout out to
Yeah.
my young guys,
Yeah.
I told them, Instagram, like,
Yeah.
don't be trying to slide on the girls' DMs,
Yeah.
when she's looking fine as hell. You're not gonna get anywhere. She's gonna hit you with the thanks.
Yeah.
That's it. You beautiful,
Yeah.
thanks. That's it.
Yeah.
Now you
Yeah.
looking thirsty. If you try to say anything else.
Yeah.
But you try to slide in her DMs when she talking about she posts some food or something. Oh, where's that?
Yeah.
You get more traction. Because
Yeah.
there's
Yeah,
less
yeah.
competition. Free game.
Yeah.
But we were just talking about shit like that. We were just having fun.
Yeah.
Talking about business and stuff like that. So. Then the next meeting we had Asia, my really good friend Asia, and she came talked about credit, credit repair, but also like building credit, and then also the business foundation and how to set, a solid business foundation, and she's, a beast at that. She's been doing that for a long time, and she gave him a really good game, and then the next meeting we had. My business partner, Ali Butter, that's
Shout
my
out
right
to
hand,
Ali Butter, by the way.
Yeah, that's my brother,
Yeah, that's my brother from youth days,
Yeah,
day
yeah.
ones.
Yeah, so, we own a trucking business together, a truck dispatching company, you know. And so he came and told him about that, and, we were just talking about that. So, and broke down the game and broke down everything, with it and just like numbers. Like that's the
Yeah.
main thing that, I really like, showing them, because you may have somebody that's in your family that owns one of these businesses, but what's the chances that they sit down and break down everything to you and tell
Right.
you, yo, this is how much you can make from this. This is how much on a weekly basis you can make, It's probably not
It's a
very,
blessing.
very much likely,
Yeah.
So, that was who was, who spoke to them that week, and then this next week, a lot of them talk about real estate, and that's like the main thing that a lot of these young guys talk about is real estate,
Yeah.
so it's like there's so many different paths in real estate, and one of my good friends, his name is also Abbas,
Yeah.
he does property management, and like with property management, like you get a good look at everything in
Yeah.
the game, because you're very much needed, and so he's gonna come and talk to him about real estate, and I'm really excited about that one,
Yeah.
But every week, we try to have somebody that's actually doing the shit,
Right.
come and talk to them, and it's not some random person on YouTube or Instagram that all you see is the highlights, like
Yeah.
these people, they're gonna come, they look like you, they come from your neighborhood, and they're really doing this shit, so like that's what I really like about the organization, and that's what the young guys can expect when they do come. It's like they come and they ask any question that they have about it, and then now they have all these people that are my really good friends, like they got a lot of respect for me, so
Right.
they're gonna extend that to them,
You're
so
yeah.
now once they leave that room, now they have a connection with that person, and each one of these people are very young, they're 30 and under, the speakers at least, and so it's like 10 years from now, these are people that are going to be giants in the city,
Yeah.
So 10 years from now, when they're, some of them are, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, like 19, you know, so 10 years from now, they're still going to be real young, you know, but they have a connection to one of the giants, you know, that they, you know, and they probably wouldn't have had access to this person, you know, so that's like what they can expect.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
dope.
Yeah, no, that's beautiful, yo.
Yeah,
You're
no, for
literally
sure.
giving them not only a platform to express how they feel about the business industry and the
Yeah.
things that they want to do,
Mhm.
but you're also giving them a platform and connecting them to people that are already doing the business.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
say you want to get into the realtor business.
Mhm.
You have people that are coming through that are already doing that. They already have connections. If one of your people that you're guiding wants to, like one of the students or one of the brothers that you're guiding, right?
Mhm.
If they want to come up to you and say, hey, Abbas, what I need you to do is help me get to this person, right?
Mhm. Mhm.
So that I can open up a business,
Yeah.
then, you know, that venue is really easy. Like, you don't find that everywhere. Like,
Yeah.
starting a podcast, you know, I had to literally search about what this was, what this was.
Where'd you find that
every single
information?
piece. And YouTube.
YouTube.
You know what I'm saying?
YouTube
And it's so
University.
difficult.
Shout
Yeah,
out
YouTube
to
yeah,
University.
yeah,
I think we're all
YouTube.
YouTube University graduates.
I got
Yeah.
a master's degree from YouTube.
yeah.
I got a master's degree.
Dude,
if
I
that's possible.
wouldn't have my master's degree without YouTube.
Shout out,
Because
I'm telling
it's
you.
For real,
literally
yeah.
like Python, Linux command codes, JavaScript, all of those things. I wouldn't understand it if it wasn't for YouTube. And finding somebody on YouTube that kind of matched my style of thinking, right? Because I'm like somebody who's, I have ADD in
Very
a way, right?
abstract,
Yeah, and I'm also like always juggling a lot of things. So I need somebody that can break down things to the point where I can understand it one take.
Yeah.
I do not need it in multiple takes.
And imagine
Yeah.
like you did all this research on YouTube. You probably had to watch multiple videos
Yeah.
to like get the whole,
Picture?
you know,
Mhm.
picture, you know.
Yeah.
But imagine if you had somebody that looked like you from this neighborhood, you know, that
And that's what
you
you're
know, came and
providing.
broke
Yeah,
down
and- yeah.
everything at a much younger age. Right now, you're what, 26?
Yeah.
You know,
I'm about to
So-
turn 27 in December.
shout out,
yeah.
shout out.
Yeah.
You know, so you said
We're in
December.
December,
Yeah,
yeah.
I was
the
gonna say,
27th
I think
the
we're-
27th of this month. I'm
Okay,
about
Oh,
to-
happy early birthday.
Yeah,
Yes,
thank
sir.
you, thank
That's
you, thank you.
dope. Also,
Yeah.
we were just talking about watching Selling Sunset and Selling Tampa and how it's so important to be able to see people who actually look like you.
Yeah, dead ass.
Not because it's not from a self-serving point of view, but just seeing that there's actually like there's people like me that look like me that are actually out here being successful and doing
Yeah.
what I want to do.
Yeah.
And the importance of actually being around people that look like you and that are able to succeed, because a lot of what we see isn't that. So
Yeah.
you assume that, okay, this is like not for my kind of people or whatever it is, or you assume that it's 10 times harder because you
Yeah,
just don't see it
Sure,
around.
for sure.
But that's really important. That's
and
cool. You're
and
doing
for
that.
them to see them doing it at a high level, like that's different.
Yeah,
You know? So it's really
It's
dope.
hella different because you just talked about the numbers, bro.
Yeah.
What person is gonna show you their business number?
Literally,
on the
yeah.
street?
Especially on YouTube.
On the
especially on
street,
YouTube.
yeah.
And
No,
and the best thing is like the
exactly.
people that do come, like
Yeah.
we don't record anything. You know, like sometimes I do wish, you know, sometimes I'm like, damn, we should record this, you know, just in case, you know.
Yeah. Somebody
you know,
else wants to see it.
Yeah, somebody else wants
Yeah.
to see, but at the same time it's like, you know, that person may not feel as comfortable,
Comfortable,
you know.
yeah.
Like I won't be on here saying, yo, this is how much I make a
Exactly,
week.
yeah.
This is, you know, I'm not gonna do that because I
Yeah.
don't know who's watching type, you know. IRS, shout out.
Yeah. yeah.
Mr. Taxman, Mr. Uncle Sam, you know, but you never know
I made
who's watching.
$10 last year.
Yeah,
y'all. Y'all better stop
I'm
playing
broke.
with me.
I ain't got nothing.
I ain't got nothing.
Yeah, shout out to
alright?
Kodak Black.
Shout out
Yeah.
to Kodak Black. You
Yeah.
see that video? It's hilarious.
Yeah, but
But
it'd
no,
be like
bro,
that. So it's
yeah.
like that's the main thing. Like sometimes I do wish that, you know,
You
I
could
could record it, but
I
that's
have a
not the
good
type of
idea
shit
for you. I
that's-
have a good idea for you.
What's up?
Maybe because now you have a website, right? So what if you have private, you know, what's it called,
couldn't do it.
videos
I couldn't
that
do
are
it.
available on only your
Oh,
website?
you could do like a
You know,
Patreon
yeah,
type of thing where
like a
people
Patreon.
pay.
I have a Patreon right now that I just
I like
built for
I like
a
the
podcast.
intimacy of, you know,
Yeah.
no cameras,
True,
no recording.
true.
You know, it's like it's, you know, this
It
this
makes it
game,
easier.
People can be a
Either
little
you
bit
show
more
up,
vulnerable.
either you show up, you know,
Or
and
you
you
can't
get
get
the
it.
game,
Yeah,
or you
that's
can't
true.
get it.
Yeah,
Like
yeah,
I'm
that's
not
true.
gonna sit
That's
here
true.
and, you know, be begging you to show up, you know,
Right.
because at the
Yeah.
end of the day, like
Yeah, no, that
know?
That is true, yeah.
something I always tell young guys is, right, like if you waste, let's say you waste 3 hours a day, you know, for a week straight,
Yeah.
that's 21 hours. But let's just simplify it and say 20 hours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
In a month, you wasted 80 hours. You know, in 3 months, you wasted 240 hours, right? So imagine if you put that 240 hours into something productive, into
Yeah.
learning a new skill, into learning, you know, being on YouTube, whatever. Like you don't think about it, you know,
Yeah.
like when you're looking at just 3 hours, you know, but those 3 hours, how much time do you think people waste on TikTok and Instagram and
Yeah.
on their phones? Like more
A lot
than
of
3
time.
hours.
Yeah,
You
a
know,
lot of
so
time.
it's like
Yeah.
just imagine just 3 hours.
One thing
you
that
know?
reminds me of is I forgot who said this, but someone used to always tell me like knowledge is free, and the fact that if you're not educated on a subject or if you're wanting to know something and you don't, the reason you don't is because you don't want to.
No, that's
Because literally everything is available to us,
Shout out
like
to YouTube.
online, YouTube, books, whatever it is. So it's like if you're not educated, you either have the option of going out there and learning or not doing anything about it. So
that's a fact.
Yeah. No, I definitely agree. It's you have to have the drive in order
Yeah.
to have anything happen for you. But for those young brothers that are trying to join Abbas
or sisters, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Or is
or
it just
Nah, it's
sisters.
all boys. All
Oh,
boys.
really?
Yeah,
Yeah,
because
yeah.
the main thing is, right,
Yeah.
let's say, you know, it's,
Distractions.
Yeah, let's talk about that.
distractions.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
okay,
guys
okay.
and girls, like
Distractions,
if there was girls in the room, they won't,
Yeah.
might not be as focused to you
Okay,
know
I see
what I'm
that.
saying or what the guest is saying.
True.
You know,
They might be
gon',
trying to put up a
hey,
front.
Yeah,
Yeah,
trying to put up front. They might not ask the question
Yeah.
that they really want to ask because they're more focused on
Right.
You know, so
Oh, that's true.
Yeah.
But there have been some girls that hit me up and like, yo, could we join this and that? And I'll be feeling bad, you know, turning them down. You know,
You,
Yeah.
I
But
mean,
at
have
the
you
same
thought about
time-
having like a
Two
just
sets.
a
I've
girls
thought
only?
about that, but
Yeah.
at the same time, I don't think I'm the right person to run
Okay,
it. You know,
girls,
because
Yeah.
they
yeah.
might not be as comfortable with me running
Right.
it. You know, so it's like trying to find somebody that we can partner up with. You know, that's actually bossed up, right?
Yeah.
Because I don't want somebody that's just like not doing anything in
Right.
real life
Yeah.
to be, you know, it's
Right.
like,
Yeah, yeah.
To be
what do
bragging.
you, when it comes to finances
Yeah.
and money, like, what do you have to talk to them about?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah.
like, you ain't even doing shit. Figure out your own shit.
Right.
Then come, you know.
Yeah. Then,
But,
Then
but
give
that-
some game,
then
yeah.
give some game. But if you're not doing nothing in real life, like,
Man, but
you
that's
know?
such a. I want to just talk on that point that what you just said. Like that's such an important thing.
Yeah.
Everybody's doing something,
Yeah.
but a lot of people are not doing those things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? Like a lot of people are just podcasting like these ideas that they're doing
I see what you're
certain
saying.
things. You know what I
Yeah.
mean?
Yeah.
Like talking
Online,
about
yeah,
doing it, but not
yeah,
actually
on
doing
social
it.
media,
Yeah.
everywhere. Like stop lying to yourself. Stop lying to the people that are watching you. Like
Yeah.
those things really impact people. You know? Like acting like a millionaire or doing certain things.
More so yourself than anyone
exactly.
else, because I mean, like, who are you really hurting in the long run? If
Yeah.
all-
Because we know you in real life too. You know,
Yeah.
we know you in real life. So
Yeah,
it's like
so-
who, you know, what you put
Exactly.
and like people that's following you from different states, they might not know.
Yeah.
You know, but then your family, your close friends,
Yeah.
they're gonna be looking at you whole time like, yo, you frauding whole time.
And
you
you're
know?
wasting time.
Yeah, you
You're
waste your own
wasting
time.
You
You
know,
waste your own time.
You can really be at that place that you're
Yeah.
you're faking to make it too. You know what I mean? Like if you really want to get to if you have a goal of getting to somewhere, don't just fake it until you make it. Get to that goal. Or even if you're
Yeah.
gonna try to fake it to make it, make sure that you're still doing the steps necessary to get to your goals. Because otherwise, it makes
Yeah.
no sense.
All right, I see you, Mr. Motivational
You know what I
speaker.
mean?
No, I mean, I agree with that. I used to be like on the whole.
Dab me up, dab me up.
I used to be on the whole like fake it till you make it
Yeah.
thing, but like
Yeah.
not making it seem like you have more than you do, but kind of having the mindset of like, okay, I'm gonna fake it till I make it.
Yeah.
But like, it really doesn't help
No,
anybody.
it's cool if you do that,
Yeah.
right? But just don't try to like mentor young guys or
Yeah.
young girls. You know, try to, you know, make it seem like you're this person, you know, and try to make it seem like it's easy. Like,
Yeah.
life
Let's talk
ain't-
about
life
that a
is,
little
life,
bit.
Life is not easy. You know, life
Flex
is hard.
culture.
It
You know,
is.
life
It is hard.
Yeah.
It is hard. Actually, to that note, I want to point out. I just want to speak on something. I might have to delete this part later, but this is as honest as it ever gets, right?
Yeah.
So Abbas and I, we've been friends for a long time. We went to high school together. In I think I was a freshman year. You know, it was sophomore year, right? Abbas helped me get my first job. At the time, I wasn't working, and neither was my dad because he had physical
didn't know that.
injuries.
I didn't
yeah,
know
yeah,
that.
yeah. He was shot and
didn't know
stuff
that.
when he
Wow.
was back in Somalia. You
Yeah.
know, multiple times. So he couldn't stand because his knee was messed up.
Yeah.
Majority of the jobs, especially just labor jobs, they force you to stand and do
Right.
certain things. You know, so my dad couldn't do those things, right? So he got into the game of selling qat.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I mean? Well, he didn't get into it.
Yeah.
He's always been around it. You know, he's
Yeah.
somebody who's a connoisseur of it. You know what I mean? But he was also somebody who sold it. You know what I mean? And we don't see it as something that's a drug. We see Jad. I mean, I definitely do see it as something that is not productive at all. It's counterintuitive
Right.
to anything that you want to do. But it's not something that like it's not cocaine or any of these kind of drugs. That's why they don't prosecute it in the U.S. the way that, you know, they prosecute those other drugs. But to get to my point, my dad was selling that, you know what I mean? I was helping him sell that, right? I just had turned 16. I needed a job. Majority of our family members are back in Somalia. So, like, certain things, Abbas being able to help me get that job. Not only was he able to help me get to the job, but he took me to the interview. You know what I'm saying? Those kind of things is the things that you do for brothers. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that's what he's trying to do for you guys, right?
Yeah.
I'm no longer in the situation I was. When I was 17, same job, working at the same job, I was able to move out, get my own place. You know what I mean? Support myself. Since I was 17, I've been supporting myself. No one has ever gave me a dime. No one has ever paid for my school. I have 2 bachelor's degrees and my master's degree. No one has ever paid for a
Kudos
single.
to you, for real.
Yeah, a single thing. I paid for it. I took care of it. Do not give yourself a victim mentality when you're down.
No, that's
Make
a
sure
fact.
that you stand up and you do your thing. And also, let's support each other because we're brothers at the end of the day, right? Abbas, what he's doing is he's trying to help you guys, right? And he's trying to help you guys in the best way he knows how, and that is by telling you guys about his experiences, and not only doing that, but going a step further and getting people with different experiences to come on there and give you guys those experiences for free, right? So you can take advantage of it, whether it's trucking, fixing your credit, any of those things that Abbas just talked about or we're just talking about in general. Those things are going to help you get further, right? And that's 100%. So the organization is functioning at a high rate. Everybody's tuning in, right?
Yeah.
What are the next steps that you see, like, as far as progress for the organization to make it more holistic for everybody?
For me, I really, thought about, how can I fund this program? How can I, have it run? And, like, what's the whole reason behind it? Like, I remember there were some organizations, that were trying to do stuff for the youth when I was coming up, and I don't want to drop no names, but, I don't think they were really doing as much as they could have,
For the community.
and for the community in general, So I was just like, criticizing them and be like, oh, they should have done this, they should have done that. But it's like, it's so easy to criticize them, and not be doing anything yourself. I'm sitting here being like, oh, these niggas ain't doing this. These
But it's
niggas
like,
ain't.
what am I doing?
But it's like, what the fuck is you doing?
Yeah.
Type, So it's
Yeah.
like, I didn't want to be lame or anything like that, but just, try to comfort somebody else, because this shit ain't easy,
Yeah.
So I was like, let me try to do it myself, before I try to, like, comfort these people type, and I tried it myself, and I was like, let me do it the right way. Instead of trying to have somebody else expect them to do it how I would have done it, let me just do it myself, and run it how I want to run it, and how I feel like it should be run,
Yeah.
And so we're not getting any grants, we haven't applied for any grants. We're not doing any grants, because, I want to see how much the community really fucks with us type, And so we actually sell these hoodies, the Motivation for the Streets hoodies, and it got a really, good, response, from the community to see how much they fuck with us. And, this is how we fund the program, and so we take that bread. I don't take a salary from it, because it's like, I don't need, the money from it, because I have my own business,
Exactly.
Like, I don't think you should do one of these things to make money, it's like,
Right.
Even 10 years from now, I don't really see myself ever taking a salary from Motivation for the Streets,
Yeah.
So it's like, whatever you want to do, right? Try to figure out something else that you can do to make money. That way, when you're doing whatever it is over here, you ain't got to depend on this to make money. This is my passion right here. Motivation
Right.
for the Streets is my passion. I love doing it. On Thursdays that I have the meetings, I look forward to that shit. I remember last meeting, like, when I tell you, like, that week was stressful.
Yeah.
Like, at work, like, it was stressful,
Yeah.
But, like, when it got time to go to the meeting, I was so happy. I was looking forward to it. Like, that shit just took all the stress I had, off my shoulders, because I was like, yo, I'm about to go see my young niggas. We about to talk. I'm about to give them game. we're about to sit, talk, laugh, chill, and,
That's dope.
And so I look forward to the meetings, and so I forgot what we were talking about. I'm not gonna lie.
No. We're talking about your Motivation for the Streets. And
Yeah.
The
So
process. that.
Yeah, but like criticizing other organizations before you actually do it yourself,
Yeah.
you know, or just anything in general,
Yeah.
you're lame if you do that. You know, real
Yeah,
shit.
yeah,
You're
yeah.
lame as fuck.
Yeah, you cannot criticize something that
Yeah.
you're
What did Chris
you're
Brown say?
hypocrisy.
Hating from the outside, but you can't even get in.
Real shit.
Yeah,
Real shit. You know.
I've seen some people use that audio in a very dope way.
Mhm.
So
Yeah.
shout out to all those people. But yeah, this
And
is
also,
something-
also, if you're doing a organization for the youth, you shouldn't be trying to do it to make money. Like
Yeah,
you know,
you should not.
like just do it, because you want to do it and
Yeah.
you're passionate about it. But don't do it to make money or try to get clout or off
Yeah.
of it. Like that's
Nah,
you know?
that's if you're coming in with that intention, it won't even work out.
It won't even work out.
'Cause,
Like the young
it
niggas
takes-
will sense
You
it
can
and
sense
they
it,
won't
yeah.
even come. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
I'm happy because like when they come, right?
Yeah.
They're not even on their phones.
Yeah.
You know, like that's something that like for just people in general, you know,
Yeah.
to not pull out their phones, especially younger people, you know,
Yeah.
to not pull out their phones every 5 minutes, that's like it shows how how much they're like really listening,
Engaged,
and
yeah.
engaged and like really trying to take in everything you're saying, so but if you're sitting here not doing it for the right reasons, right,
Yeah.
you're not gonna get the same.
You're not gonna get the same reaction. Not
Exactly.
only that, your reaction to it won't even be that
No, for
big.
sure.
Because like this is something that you, like you said, it was a busy week. You still had to show up. You knew that you had to show up, and not only that, you love to show up.
No, for sure.
Because you're giving information, you're giving game. If you're somebody who's trying to make it, fake it, you're not gonna be able to do that consistently. Like
Yeah.
show up on your harsh days. You know what I mean? You have to be able to stay consistent day in and day out. So we're talking about the youth. We're talking about our community, right? We have seen a lot within our community. You know what I mean? Let's talk about a couple of the things that we have seen as far as like what are some of the changes that you think that are affecting the community positively and negatively. You know what I mean?
Something that I think is impacting the community positively is parents not being on their kids as much when it comes to going to college. Like I'm not shitting on college. College is beautiful when you do it, the right way. Don't go to Augsburg. That's another thing. Don't go to Augsburg, Hamlin, none of these schools, without a plan. Without scholarships, especially if you ain't got the money to pay for it. Don't go there without like having a plan, because you don't want to get out of college, have $50,000 or $25,000 in student loan debt, and
You're a
you
dropout.
yeah,
Like you're not able to.
or
use
even if you
that.
graduate,
Yeah.
you're not gonna be, like you're probably not gonna make enough to pay those student loans off fast enough, to like beat the interest, unless you're throwing big chunks at it. But
Yeah.
so it's like, bro, I'm telling you, like, don't
Big
go
chunks.
go to the U of M, financial aid finna take care of that. You might be in debt maybe like $2,000 a semester, or $2,000 a year or something. If that, most likely they'll take care of everything at the U of M. You
Yeah.
know. Or go to a community college, do your 2 years, and then transfer over to the U. But definitely stay away from these private schools.
Yeah.
But
and
that's something that I think is positive is parents like
Yeah.
not being on their kids as much about that, and the negative thing about the community right now is fetties. I think what's the real word for it?
fentanyl.
Fentanyl.
Yeah.
Fentanyl is
Really?
definitely destroying
deadly,
the community.
and
Are you like referring specifically to the Somali community?
No, just the communities in general.
okay.
Like
Yeah.
I think
But
I
it
think
is in
this
our community
generation
heavy.
Yeah, I think
Yeah.
this generation like fentanyl. Like before, it used to be like there was different shit for each generation.
Yeah.
Like during my generation, it was like Xanax, lean, shit like that. But that stuff is deadly. But you gotta really do a lot to
to be on
to
fentanyl.
die off
Yeah.
it.
yeah.
But fentanyl, you get the wrong batch and you're out of here.
Yeah.
And so it's like, I think a lot of young kids like they experiment around this age. They experiment with different things. And so it's like it could be the best kid, but he is at the wrong place at the
Right.
wrong time with the
Yeah.
wrong people, and they try to influence him to do something, and they make it seem like it's cool, and he doesn't. He's out of here. You know that's sad. So
Let me
it's
ask you
like,
this: like, in the same way that you're kind of like a guide to these younger guys,
Mhm.
is there a specific person in your life that really changed your perspective on things, or like really guided you to be on the path that you're on today?
I think it's been a lot of people. I think it's been a lot of different people that have, influenced me. I think my dad was definitely like one of my biggest influences for sure. You
Shout
know?
out to Abbas's dad.
Yeah, you know, yeah.
Chased us with a car before.
My dad, when it comes to my friends, oh my God,
Really?
I had my friend sleep over one time. He smacked the shit out of one of my friends because
Really?
he thought it was me. You know, he was trying to get to me because we stayed out that night. You know, we stayed out
damn,
late.
Yeah.
Who was
You
it?
know,
Who was it? Can you name drop?
I forgot
We
who it
won't
was,
name
but
drop the person. who
it was
got
like
their
4 or
shit
5 of
smacked.
us. He smacked the shit out of this nigga. I was
Oh,
like, thank
dang.
God, because
Yeah.
I was like, yo, you take the bed. I'm gonna sleep on the ground. He smacked the shit out this nigga. I was like, thank God.
Sheesh.
You know, but
You had to apologize to your friend. Just
yeah,
be
nah,
like,
hell nah. He knew the risk.
yeah.
But no, my father, he definitely
bogus
gave me
for that,
he
yeah.
definitely gave
Yeah.
me a lot of game. You know, he gave me a lot of game,
Yeah.
and you know, just even show me your friends, I'll show you who you are. You know, and
Yeah.
he really like emphasized the importance of education. You know, like my father was always in my life. You know, and you know, so that's somebody that really influenced me. You know, in a good way.
Yeah.
My brother, you know, Mohammed, he definitely influenced me in a good way. He, you know, I was definitely, you know, living, you know, kind of
Lavish.
wild.
You were
I
out
don't want to
here?
get
I
into
was
that,
living
but
Out in these
yeah,
streets.
I was out here, you know,
Yeah.
and he was going to school, doing his thing, got his degree in computer science, and you know, I saw that, I was like, yeah, let me give this school shit a shot, you know.
Shout out to Muhammad. I know him as well. One of the best people in the world.
Yeah, not
One
for
of-
sure,
he's
you know.
definitely
Shout
a
out
big
to
bro to
Yeah,
all
some of my
us.
cousins, you know,
Yeah.
and then you know another one was you know, one of my old, you know, OGs,
Yeah.
Mo, you know.
Yeah.
I remember I was doing something that wasn't right, you know, I was doing some wild shit, you know, and he was like, yo, why you doing this? You know, he put me onto something else that wasn't good, you know, but at the same time, this was like not as bad as this
Okay.
type, you know? So, you know, like if I
Less
kept
bad.
doing
It was
this,
less bad.
yeah, it would have been, you know, but he
Yeah.
put me on to doing something else that was bad, but it was smarter, you know?
Yeah.
And so imagine if I would have had at that, and I thank him for that, you know, because if he didn't like step into my life and put me on to that, like I probably would have, you know, I don't know where I'd be right now, you know?
You never
But
know.
imagine at that, you know, when I was like 17 at the time, imagine if I had somebody that like showed me a different path to make
Right.
money, you know? Like that would have been life-changing, you know? Who knows where I would have been, you know? But I don't want to regret anything. I don't regret anything that happened in my life, you know, or anything that I've done, you know? But imagine, you know, at those ages that are really important, 16, 17, 18,
Yeah.
right? If I would have had somebody that guided me and said, yo, you know, you could do, you know, this and make money, or you could do this and make money, and try to help me find something that, you know, I actually like. So that's why, you know, I try my best to do the same, you know, what I wish I had
Yeah.
at that age,
Right.
you know, for some of these young guys, you know. So
Man,
you
I
know,
wish the same thing.
something that I wish though is
Yeah.
like more young guys that's like living the street life like came to me, you know, like there's only one young guy that's like living the street life, or you know, 1 foot in, 1 foot out, you know,
Yeah.
that's actually come to me, you know, and I've actually helped them game plan a way out of it and just showed them like, yo, bro, whatever you're doing. I've never seen a guy that's 35, 40 years old in the streets, you know, being successful,
Right.
you know, happy, record clean, like doing his thing.
That is so
I don't
true.
see
I just
it.
thought about it. I was
Alive.
like,
I don't
nope,
see it. You know,
don't
35
like
to
that.
40, like,
Yeah.
you know, so it's like, bro, most of these dudes, like, around 25 to, like, 35, like, you know, they go through a lot of bullshit in their life, and they end up stopping by the time they're 40, you know? So it's like, instead of waiting till you're 35, 40 to stop this shit, right?
Stop it
Why
now.
don't you just stop it now at 18, 19, 20? Because none of the niggas that's, like, you know, you're rocking with, like, if you got locked up tomorrow, would put money on your books, you know, go see your mom,
Right.
you know, come visit you, you know, like, they probably won't even answer the phone for you, you know, from you, you know? So it's like, bro, like, just stop that shit now, you know?
And that's what it is. That's exactly what motivation for the streets
No, that's
is
a fact.
about.
That's a fact.
Is offering alternative routes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
But a lot of times,
Whatever
like,
you may be doing, yeah.
nobody breaks it down for them like that. Like, lets them know, like, opens their eyes to it, you know? Because at that age, like, you just
You're
think,
so
like,
nearsighted, yeah.
yeah, you're just thinking, like, what's going on tomorrow? What's going on today? You know? But it's like, I want to talk to them about, like, you know, and start helping them think,
Yeah.
like, 5 years from now, 10 years from now, where do you see yourself? You know? And if you live in the street life, like, you know,
Yeah.
You gotta have a different plan
Come on.
than pretty much
Yeah, have an
being
exit
in the
plan.
streets.
Have an exit
Exactly.
plan.
Exactly. I have an
and
exit-
don't do, you know, no dumb shit that's gonna have you, you know, always looking over your shoulder. You know, that's like,
Yeah.
you know, don't shoot at nobody. You know,
don't do that.
Don't be, you know, talk about nobody's dead homies.
Don't
you
do
know,
that.
or because shit like that, that's like.
That's what
We
gets
got beef
people heated.
forever.
Yeah.
You know, we got
exactly.
beef forever behind that shit. But if you know, get in a fight with somebody, you know, like 5 years from now, that might be your, really good friend type, So it's like
You never
fighting and
know.
shit like that, that's regular,
Yeah.
But definitely certain shit, like, stay away from it.
Yeah.
Something that I do recommend is, when it comes to young guys trying to figure, trying to get a hold of, somebody that's doing something that they, are interested in, right? So how do you, like, get that person to, like, mentor you or,
Yeah.
like, show you the ropes, You got to be an asset, That's the
Yeah.
biggest thing. You got to be an asset. If you sit here and DM somebody like, hey, can you teach me how to do X, Y, Z or whatever, It's like most likely they're busy. Like that person is probably really busy. They got their own life. That they have their own problems that they're dealing with. So
That brings up a
they're
good
probably
point too,
busy,
because
but-
I think a lot of people our age and younger aren't really willing to serve other people to be able to get what they need. It's a lot about getting things for yourself, but it's like
Exactly.
everybody
Selfish.
that's everybody that's where they're at now
Yeah.
at some point in their life has served someone else.
No, for sure.
And there's not that level of being humble enough to actually be an asset to someone and say, hey, I want to learn from you. I'm gonna wait on you. I'm gonna serve you so I can get what I need in return.
No, that's a fact. And the biggest thing is like the best leaders
Yeah.
were once the best followers, and like that's what you really
Big
got to do,
facts.
like
Big
the
facts,
best.
yeah.
So you
gotta learn
shoot your
from
shot.
past.
Like the biggest thing is when you shoot your shot, like DM somebody. It takes nothing. Like what's the worst they can say? No.
No, yeah.
But I always shoot my shot. I don't give a fuck who
Same.
it is. I'll
Yeah.
shoot my shot. I'll be like, yo, what's up? Ooh, type.
Yeah.
But I'll DM somebody. But at the same time, when I do DM them, I have a game plan of how I want them to help me and how I'm gonna be an asset. How am I gonna make their life simpler? How am I gonna take some stuff off their plate?
Yeah.
To help them out. Because then now it's a it's an
It's a
even
win-win,
exchange.
yeah.
It's like I'm helping you out, you helping me out.
And you might even run into people that don't want anything in return. but
Exactly,
always
exactly.
be ready
That
to
too.
offer. Yeah.
Exactly.
You
Offer,
have to
you know?
offer yourself up pretty much to
Yeah.
be able to learn the things that the other day I was actually at Lifetime, right? Afro Deli? Have you ever heard of
Yeah, I
Afro
love that
Deli?
place, yeah.
Shout out
The
to
owner
GOAT.
of Afro Deli, right?
GOAT.
He was at
That
the
chapati wrap be hitting.
Yeah, chapati wrap be hitting like there's no tomorrow. He be having the sandwich is also good, the steak. I'm gonna have him on here soon.
Oh,
But the way I met him several times, but this time I met him at the Lifetime, right? So he was trying to work out. He's somebody who likes to work out with people. You know what I'm saying? You know how I am. I'm somebody who always is in the gym. I haven't been in there recently, but I was there. That
Right
one
there
time.
with you, right there with you.
Exactly. And I went up to him.
Planet
he-
Fitness still charge me though.
They don't stop. You know what I mean? LA Fitness. Take a month off, man. Take a month off. Stop charging me.
We in a pandemic.
Yeah, we in a
Work with
pandemic,
us.
goddamn.
low-key.
Hold it back. But so I went up to him. I'm like, yo, how's it going? I'm working on this. Me and him ended up working on the same things. At that point, I had been at the gym 2 hours.
Oh, wow.
But I'm like, you know what? I'm gonna be here. So I did a full workout with him. And during the full workout, I talked to him about different things. I threw him a pitch on a restaurant idea that I have. I told him to come on the podcast, right? I'm dead ass. I have the text messages.
This
and
nigga
everything.
took advantage of this time.
Yeah, for real.
I took advantage of everything. I showed him my stock portfolio. I told him that I do stocks. I told him that in the future, we can, work together. You know what I mean? Cooperate with one another to do things that are advocating our community to do different things. Stocks is one of them. You got to get out of your shelter and go into different
Yeah, for sure.
areas. And trading is one of those big things. So it doesn't matter where you meet the person. Offer yourself up. I did that. I knew how to work out. I told them about all the workouts that I thought was great, and boom. It turns out that he's gonna come on the podcast. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And he
He's a
might
real
invest
one.
in my podcast.
That's actually
my
another one of
restaurant
my,
business.
like inspirations when it comes to,
Yeah.
doing stuff for the community. Like Kahan, the owner of Afro Deli, like he's the real one,
He is.
and he's that with just everybody. Like, you come up to him and you ask him like, hey, I got this going on. Like, he's like, okay, how can I help? How can I
Free
be an
game.
asset? He's one of those people that like doesn't ask for anything in return,
Yeah.
and just wants to give, And I'm hoping one day I can get to that point where, I'm doing that for the community, and I can actually like, just give,
Yeah.
and just keep it going.
And you'll
you know?
always get it back tenfold.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So it's like, it's nothing to give, just like coming on the podcast, right? This is my guy, I can
Yeah.
sit here and be like, oh yeah, I'm not going to come on or, I'm this and that, try to feel like, it's like, nah, it's nothing
Yeah.
to just come on
Stop
and show love.
gatekeeping, yeah.
It's nothing to come on and show
Our
love.
community gatekeeps like
So
there's
much.
no tomorrow.
Yeah.
There's people that are like I hit them up on social media. Shout out to everybody I hit up. If you're busy, shout out to you. May everything be blessed for you. Everything that you're busy with. We'll see you one day eventually, because this podcast is gonna continue to go up. But to just talk about that is like, let's support each other as the youth.
Yeah.
You know, the older generation, they share information on the fly, bro. It's information is on what's up before it's on CNN. You know what I mean? I'm telling you, like,
For real.
before CNN knew about the plane crash in Ethiopia, I knew about it, okay? Because we had some farmers that were walking by and they knew the information. So it's like, it's critical, you know what I mean? So we got to share that information with one another
Yeah.
so that we are all successful.
Well, I mean, I
you
think
know?
the core of that is thinking, like, having a scarcity mindset. It's people thinking, like, okay, if I
Talk
give
that
you,
talk.
yeah, it's if I share this with you or give this to you, there's going to be less to go around for me.
Yeah.
And I think that mindset stems from either the way someone grew up, maybe feeling like I have to protect what I have because, you know, it's always been stolen from me, or like people have taken advantage of me. So it's deeper than just not being able to share. I think it's deeper than that. It's just like really bad
capitalism,
habits,
I think.
habits
I
that we have
think
to
it's
break.
capitalism because
Yeah.
it teaches you to success.
Like the individual.
Individuality. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? It teaches you individuality, and especially you become money hungry. You become something else. Don't go there, guys. I've been
Yeah.
there before.
I was just
Not a
talking to
good
my
place.
cousin in the car about this on the way here. 'Cause
Yeah.
we were like, because he was talking about wanting to move to Switzerland. He was like, I'm tired of being here. Like, I'm tired of the whole, like,
Yeah.
grinding
They got
all
Habesha
day.
in Switzerland.
Bro, I don't think so. I don't know.
Shout out to our
Looking for the
Habesha
Dubai
I
brothers
don't
and
think so.
sisters.
I mean, it's beautiful there, but he was talking about, it's interesting because he was talking about how life there isn't like a certain amount of money that you have to make before you feel like, oh, I've made it. Everybody there is just like seems super happy and like it's almost that like living off the land happy.
Yeah.
Where like you're not worried about, oh, I gotta grind for this, I gotta buy this, I gotta do this. Like you're just content. And I
Yeah.
think that's what's missing from our culture is like always feeling like I have to be at this next level, even once I've arrived.
Yeah, enjoy the moment that
Be
you're
grateful.
in. Yeah,
Be
be
grateful
present.
for what
Be
you
present.
have. You know,
Yeah.
be grateful for what you have, and always be appreciative because just as fast as you got it, you can lose it.
Mm-hmm.
you know?
Everything. Yeah.
And when you do have it, be smart with what you do with your
Yeah.
money. Like when you have money, put it away. Build up a savings. Build up a savings. Put some money away. Don't spend it
yeah.
on random bullshit. Don't buy designer. Like
Right.
if you're buying designer, your whole lifestyle should be designer. The house that you
Right.
live in should
Yeah.
be nice as fuck.
Yeah.
The car that you drive should be nice as fuck.
Like you should not
Way-
be wearing designer and then be like hella regular.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
fucking
Yeah.
still living with Hoya and Abba. Like, what the fuck is you doing, bro?
Right, like
Yeah.
other
you know,
priorities.
yeah,
yeah.
like
Buy a
buy
car.
designer when you have,
when you can maintain it.
when you can maintain that
Yeah.
lifestyle, but before you can maintain that lifestyle, go to motherfucking the outlet and go to, when it comes to girls, go to the outlet and get you a nice bag from
No one
Coach,
can tell the
right?
difference.
What's that
yeah,
one store?
and no one. Yeah.
Kate Spade. Get you a
Yeah.
nice bag from Kate Spade. Young
Yeah.
guys, go get you some New Balances.
Hey, you know the game, y'all.
yeah,
you listen.
go get you some shoes from
Let's talk about that
New
a little
Balance.
bit though, like
you
the
know?
whole flex culture
Yeah,
idea.
don't
like,
try to flex, especially Instagram.
Yeah.
Don't let Instagram
do you
fool
think social media is like the culprit for that, or is that something that you think has been around?
Nah, I think Instagram just took it to a whole
nother
level.
level, yeah, I
like
agree.
putting up pictures, shit like that. Like before, it was just like you trying to flex to the people that's
Dude,
around
now
you
you're
and shit
trying to
like
flex
that.
to
Yeah,
the whole world.
but
yeah.
now you trying to keep up with people that you
don't
probably
even
like
know.
you don't even know type. Like.
Oh, you
before
could-
it was
you
just
could-
like,
yeah,
you
but
you just be trying to like be one up on the person, that's like down the
Right.
street, and it's more realistic, you ain't got, but then now you trying to keep up with this person that got a Maybach, Bentley,
Right.
drive
Yeah.
has like,
Oh,
it's like, come
man.
on, don't do that to yourself. You're gonna drive yourself
Yeah.
crazy. You'd rather take that money and go buy your mom some, gold, buy her some dehab, do something better with your money type, if you got it, or
Yeah.
just stack up, help yourself before you start trying to help other people, right? Put yourself first, like it may sound selfish, but at the same time, like if you asked out, fucked up tomorrow and ain't got no bread, like of course your family's gonna be there
Right,
for you,
yeah.
but at the same time, try to protect yourself, like try to avoid putting yourself in a situation where you're gonna be needing You know, that's the biggest way you can help your family is don't be a person that they're always worried about. Like, damn, y'all know about fucking Mohammed,
good
you know,
right
that's doing this and this.
Yeah.
Or do you know Abdi that's doing this and this? Like, come on, like, you know, be the one that they go to when it comes to, like, you know, some bullshit happening in the family. Be the person that they, you know, go to. Don't be the person that they're always, like, complaining about.
Don't be the burden.
Stressing out
Don't
the
be the
family.
burden, yeah.
Don't be the burden,
Yeah.
you know. So that's some real shit, you know. And then be smart with your money. You know, be smart with your money. Don't buy luxury until you can have luxury all around you.
Man,
you know?
I see that all the time, and I'm like, you know, when you look at it, you're like, dude, you can be there if you really put your time to it. Like, I've met some Somali kids that are extremely smart, outgoing. They know how to speak. They know how to do everything pretty much. But then this idea of having to rock designer and stuff like that is saturating their money to the point where they have nothing to invest. They have all these ideas, these beautiful ideas of doing wonderful things. But the thing is, you can't accomplish those ideas if you're spending all your money on designer. Save your money. If you're going to buy something that's designer, maybe buy one or two things that are designer. But it's good to live, but at the same time,
designer.
No.
Designer.
I say it's good to live.
If you can afford it.
Yeah, because you don't, you know, there's that. I feel like we've reached a point where, like, social media, like, you can get depressed and anxiety and all that stuff from social media. So to protect yourself, buy a couple of designers.
Oh,
you know
come
what
on.
I'm saying?
Because you can still put,
Don't listen to that.
you can still put that shit on, you know, without having any
And
designer.
still
Yeah,
feel-
go
you
to
can
Zara.
put that shit on and
go
still
to-
feel the same
This is
way.
Zara.
Exactly.
I feel
Go
like
to
it's
Zara,
designer.
go to H&M,
Yeah.
you know, go to ASOS. Who knows, you know?
Yeah, you never
ASOS.
want to be a slave to your money. Like, you should own your money, not the other way around.
For sure.
And don't what's the saying? The slave or the borrower is slave to the lender. Like, because
Yeah.
a lot of what we see
credit.
is it's credit, it's debt. Like, you're
credit.
wearing
Credit.
debt.
And another
How
thing
does that
is,
make
like,
sense?
It's hard
you
to
know,
think
trying to
about
go get, to my students, right? To the young guys that go to Augsburg or go to one of these private schools and go get $25,000 in student loans or, you know, $50,000 or more, you know, in student loans, you know, and then they come out of college and they feel like they deserve a nice car, you know, and they go get, you know, sign up for that $30,000 car, $40,000 car, right? Now you almost, you know, $100,000 in debt, you know.
Right.
Imagine you try to go
Right off the bat.
buy a house, you know, they're gonna look at you and be like, yo, your debt to income ratio is
ridiculous.
crazy,
Yeah.
you know. And now you gotta
Like, the math is not
It's
mathing.
ridiculous,
it's
sir.
not, it doesn't make sense,
Yeah.
you know. So it's like, you think about that before you decide. It's like small decisions that you make, you know, they're not small decisions, but decisions that you make, you know,
Lead up to other
you know,
Also,
they can
I mean, even
get you in fucked up positions later
Yeah.
on when you try to go do big shit. You know, when you try to go buy a
100%.
property, they're gonna be like, nah, you can't even buy it. So now you gotta pay rent, right? And rent is usually like $1,700-$1,800, you know, but let's just round it up, $2,000 to make it simple, right?
Mm-hmm.
You pay $2,000 of rent a year, you're spending $24,000, you know, in rent in just 1 year on a property that you don't own. In 4 years, you just spent almost $100,000 in rent, you know? So in 12 years, you could have bought a $300,000 house and paid it off in 3 years if you just made the regular payments, you know?
Right. Yeah.
So
and
it's like-
sometimes it's not even flex culture. Like you said, like, if someone just graduated and is quote unquote saying, "Oh, I want to treat myself with a nice car," but it's
Yeah.
like, are you really treating yourself?
Yeah, you
Yeah,
really
you're
like
not.
putting yourself in a worse position. You
Exactly,
you hurting yourself.
It just
you
feels
think,
like it because it's that instant gratification
for sure,
thing. Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah, and
for
that's
sure.
something that you have to deal with day in, day out. So that's income that's going to be coming out of your income on a monthly basis for 3 to 5 years. You know what I'm saying?
Sounds so
You know,
depressing.
it does. Because when you get into a $30,000 loan car or a
Yeah.
$60,000 loan, right? When you get into a $60,000 loan, even if you're making $100K a month, it's
A
going to
month?
take, I mean a year. It's going to take you at least 3 years to pay that off.
Now, if you're
You know
making
what I mean?
$100K, you can definitely go get yourself something nice. You know,
Yeah,
if
I
you're making
mean,
$100,000,
$100K is
but
still not a lot of money. I
really
say
not
it's
anymore,
not.
yeah.
It's
Say-
not. But
especially
at the
with
same
inflation,
time,
yeah.
at the same time, you can definitely like, you know,
Imagine
take care
locking
of certain
yourself
things.
down for 5 years. I know
And
some
that's
people.
a depreciating asset too. As soon as you drive it out the lot,
Yeah.
it's worth less.
I'm not
than what
gonna lie to
just
you.
paid.
Yeah.
Like my first car was a 2002 Chevy Impala. You know, I paid $800 at the auction. I went to the auction, paid $800 for it.
It was
you know,
pimped out, though. It was a
imagine
nice
I could
car.
have went and got. I remember I went to the car dealership and I tried to go get a Dodge Charger. I think it was like 20.
I used to be
I forgot what
obsessed
year it
with
was.
those
You know,
cars, yeah.
I tried to go get a Dodge Charger. I was like, oh man, I'm finna ooh.
Yeah.
You know, I tried to go get it. You know, but I had the money, but they said, yo, you ain't got the credit for it. You know, so I tried to go get my dad to go co-sign the car for me. You know, he looked at me. He said, nah, you ain't ready for this. You know, I'm so grateful. At the time, I thought, I was like, damn, why he hating on me?
Yeah.
Ooh, I got the bread. But I'm so glad that he turned me down, you know, because, you know,
Later on.
that would have been very, like, you know, just trying to, like,
Detrimental.
make those payments all the
Those
time.
are
It's too
blessings,
much,
too.
you know.
Yeah.
I only paid $800 for that car, right? Turned around. I drove that car for 8 months. No car payments, nothing, right? And then 8 months later, it broke down on me. I'm going to be honest. It broke down on me, you know. But I sold the car to a junkyard, right, for $300, you know.
So you
So
have
now
your
I
money
got a
back.
car for 8 months. And I only spent $500, you know, so it's
Yeah.
worth it, you know. Then I went and got a 1999 Toyota Camry, spent $3,500 on it, put down $500 deposit, you know, and my, you know, my family, you know, helped me out with that, you know, and I paid them, you know, because they, you know, paid the rest, you know, and I just paid them back, you know,
Oh, yeah.
$300 a month. That way I wouldn't have to come out of pocket, you know, a
Interest,
big
yeah.
chunk, you know.
Yeah, I have no
I paid
idea.
$300 a month, you know? So that was my second car. My third car was a 2007 Toyota Camry. So you see, like, there's, you know, at any point in my
Evolution.
life,
There was an
I could have
evolution.
got a brand new car, you know, but I didn't do that to myself. And I'm so grateful because now, you know, I don't want to get into it, but like, you know, like soon you guys are going to see, like, there's some big shit that I got going on behind the scenes, you know, that's going to, like, show, you know, like, all, you know, this time that I was delaying gratification, you know, it's going to show, you know, and I'm going to do something that's going to really, like, make it all worth it, you know?
Yeah.
So it's like, even when you're young, like, understand the decision that you're making at 18, 19. Once you turn 18, you know, every decision you make is going to affect, you know, future you,
Yeah,
you know?
exactly. Rest
So
of your
I'm
life.
26 right now. 18-year-old me, you know, I'm grateful for 18-year-old me. You know, I got a credit card. I walked inside a Wells Fargo bank, you know, and I remember one of my parents.
the worst place that you could get a credit card. I can vouch for that too.
It's all good.
I can vouch for that too. Yeah. As
No,
somebody
but-
who also used to work there.
But it was a
terrible.
banker. It was a banker that worked
Yeah.
there that was Somali. You know, he looked like me. You know, so I trusted him. You know, before that I was hearing credit cards are bad. Credit cards are bad. I came in. I was just trying to deposit some money. He was just like, "Yo, you got time to talk?" Pulled me to the side. He was like, "You got a credit card?" Boom. Talked to me about credit. You know, I told him what I thought about credit. He was like, "Nah, if you do this, and make the monthly payments, and always make sure you know, make all your credit cards the same day, you know, and pay off that, you know, future you is gonna thank you." You know, I don't know that man's name or what he's doing with his life,
Yeah.
but
Shout
I'm
out to
grateful
that
for that
brother,
man.
yeah.
You know, I'm grateful for that man because, you know, he helped me, like, start my credit, you know, at 18, you know,
Right.
and now I got 8 years. I've never been late on a payment, never, you know. So I have multiple credit cards now, you know, so that's like, you know, my credit is almost 800, you know.
Yeah, and it
it's like
helps you with your
793,
businesses.
you know.
Yeah.
So, and also never co-sign for somebody. I don't care who it is. That's another thing.
Yeah.
This is, so for my young guys, never, even older people, never co-sign for anybody. I don't care if it's who it is, you know,
It's blood.
never co-sign for anybody, you know,
Yeah.
because at the end of the day,
That's your debt.
that's your debt,
Yeah.
you know, and don't do it. Just trust me, don't do it. I don't care if the person tries to guilt trip you or make you feel some type of way. Do not co-sign for anybody, you know. And something else I always tell my young guys is, you know, in this whole interview, right? Don't try to memorize or hear, you know, take in everything I say. You know, just try to look for those one or two gems,
Yeah.
right? Just look for, or even if you're watching other interviews, you know, for myself, I always try to take one or two little gems, you know, out of anything that I'm doing or what I'm listening to, you know, and try to, you know,
Productivity.
remember it or, you know, apply it to my own life in the future. And I think that's something that you guys could do because that is going to, you know, like build up. And,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
you're going to be a very wise man one day, you know, so,
Yeah.
Or woman.
or woman. or
I got a
woman.
rep from.
Yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I need to get better at
To
that.
the
You know,
woman.
I'll be really focused about my young guys. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
but,
No, I get it.
You know, I need to get better at that. You know, shout out to the women. You know,
They'll say that you're misogynistic on Twitter for that.
ooh, that's all good. That's another thing. Don't be scared of
That's
social
his
media.
market.
Yeah, don't be scared of social media or people building you up on social media or even in real life. You know, like
Yeah.
people. If you like really care about people building you up, right? They can tear you down just as fast,
Yeah.
you know, and you're going to be like, damn, what the, you know, you're going to be real depressed, like, because you was really, like,
relying on
relying on that, and all these people building you up. Like, I really care about, a few people. There's only like some of my, my siblings, my parents, my grandma, and a couple of my close friends. Like, those are the people whose opinion I really care about, and my cousins. Those are the opinions who's like, if they told me, yo, I don't fuck with you tomorrow, all of them said
that would actually
that
mean
shit
something,
would
yeah.
hurt, But social media, if they tell me, oh yeah, you the realest nigga in it,
it doesn't matter, yeah.
I'm
It's
like,
easy
all
for
right,
someone
cool.
from a distance to say
But
that,
I'm not gonna be like, oh, whoa, and let that get to me, and I think that's something that you guys really like gotta, really remember, because social media, it's a monster. Like, they'll build you up fast and tear you down just as fast.
Yeah,
so
nobody on there is your friend.
They're not. They're not.
But to conclude this podcast, which was a wonderful podcast, to be honest, because we talked about a lot of different things, and we were able to discuss a lot of different things, right?
Yeah.
So now we have a better understanding of some of the things that are going on within the community. We also have a better understanding of what Motivation for the Streets is looking to do for the community and what they have been doing, right? So we want to 100% say we're still behind you on that and support you. I want to say that right now as we sit, I'm going to go ahead and order me a blue one of those if I can get
We
one
actually
of those.
sold out.
Okay.
Ooh.
We sold
If somebody
out.
wants to resell theirs.
No, we actually about to sell some more. I try to, sell them
Yeah.
like every
They're like
2
NFTs,
months.
guys. They're a hot catch.
Yeah, this is actually unreleased. This one's like personal. This green. It's,
Yeah.
But
green.
no, on
Green
some
is
shit
good.
like that's,
green is good, but
that's
green
love.
is not
That's
good.
love. That's
you know?
love. We appreciate it because we definitely, we don't, apply for grants or any of that. We try to get, community support, because with grants, they'll tell you, oh, you got to use 30% for this, and you got to use 20% for this, and
you have no idea.
it's like, yo, I don't need Uncle Sam or this organization or this company to tell me what to do. Nobody in my life tells me what to do. So it's like, I'm not gonna change that, with the organization. And even if I got to come out of pocket, and at times, especially in the beginning, I was coming out of pocket.
Yeah.
But
That's how
even
you
if I
do
got to come
sometimes.
out of pocket, I'd rather do that than, go after, these grants and stuff like that.
Right.
And that might change later on in the future,
Yeah.
But I want to be able to say, yo, you got, what type of business do you want to start up, young king,
Yeah.
And he tells me, and I want to invest in his business, and say, yo, here, take that, just pay it forward. Oh yeah, you want to do this? All right, here. Like you started a podcast. How much is it? All this stuff. It was expensive. But I'm not gonna say I'm gonna pay for all of it. I gotta see you put in some work.
I'm gonna pay for all of it.
No, I ain't gonna pay for all of it. I'm be honest.
Motivation for the streets.
No, but on some real shit, I want to see them pay, like put in the work. Once I see them put in the work, now I'm a help you take it to the next level. But like, that's like the main thing that I really like about, being able to just sell the hoodies and take the money and have full control,
Yeah.
Like, that's what I really love about it.
So you want to say real quick just where people can find you, where they can connect with you?
Yeah, we're on all social media platforms, mainly Instagram. I got a TikTok, but I don't post on it, none of that. I ain't no TikTok. That's the new generation.
Yeah,
I might have one of my young kings, I might have them like, take care of the TikTok, but Motivation for the Streets. We got a website, everything Motivation for the Streets. So, the funny thing is, when I actually was starting, I wanted to make the name Neighborhood Hero, or Neighborhood Heroes, like the Lil Durk song,
Yeah.
I looked it up, there was a couple of different other pages that had Neighborhood Heroes, kind of like what you have with Dreams to Reality, and you had to change the name. But that's the thing, like,
Rebranding is good sometimes.
Yeah.
Sometimes you readjust, man. Life is like, every day you're taking in new information, your experiences are growing.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be able to change, Don't stay the same. Progress is the last thing that I would say to all the young guys coming up. Always make sure you're progressing from who you were yesterday, who you were last year. We're ending the year right now in 2021. Be a better person in 2022. Do better things for your community, for your family, for the people that you love. And that is my final piece. We're going to give the floor up to Hebron to seal the deal.
It's you against
Backed by
you.
popular
Your only
demand.
competition is yourself, right? So,
Yeah.
I don't really have much to add on that. This was really fun. It was nice meeting you,
sure. It
and nice
was
hearing
nice
your
meeting you.
story. So,
Yeah.
Something that I would add is to my young guys, or just to young people
Yeah,
in
it's
general,
okay.
or people in general, right? Is don't procrastinate, right? Like this podcast, you know, if you would have been trying to make it perfect, like, yo, I gotta be, you know, at this level before I started, you know, you
Yeah.
probably would have started. You know,
Man.
you just got, and there's certain shit that you learned, you know, from doing it, you know,
Right.
that
Lot
you
of
would have
editing.
never learned, you know, if you just was like trying to plan and try to learn. It's like, yo, just start where you are. You know, don't try to make things perfect no matter what you're doing, whether you're trying to get into real estate or, you know, start a company or whatever you're trying to do,
Yeah.
right? Just start where you are, you know, and just keep going. Like even my organization, you know, I started and now, you know, I've learned a lot of things, you know, and I'm able to take it to another level, you know, same thing with y'all, you know, so
Yeah.
that's my last piece of advice. You know, y'all can see I like to, you know, I just like to
Give
you know, try to
information.
give information, try to give game and you know, that I wish I had at a much younger age, you know.
Yeah.
So don't procrastinate, young king, you know, or young queen, you know, just start where you are. You know, don't try to make it perfect. You know, even if people ain't fuck with you on Instagram, you know, when you're up, people are gonna talk about, you know, how they first met you. That's what they're gonna talk about. That's to the level that I want to get you to, you know, and I want to see you guys at, even if it's not with me, you know, I want to see everybody at that point where they're just like, oh yeah, I remember how this, yeah.
Amen to that.
Amen
sir,
to
yes,
that.
sir.
Hell yeah. Hey, subscribe, like, comment. We need all that stuff, right? To make sure that we're able to provide this podcast to you guys.
Yeah.
Love to everybody watching. May you have a blessed day, a blessed rest of the year, and a blessed 2022 as well.
Yes, sir.
Peace out to you.
Congratulations on the Masters again. Master Bashar.
Come on now. It's for the community. Honestly, it's for the community.
Put the pressure on my back, I went inside in it.